Hi, we're going to show you the basic editing functions of Camtasia to produce a piano video. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing you see when you come into Camtasia is your media bin. So we're going to go ahead and load our videos into the media bin. I'll simply click on the plus, import media, and look for your videos. Click open, or alternatively you can drag them in. Once your videos are in the bin, you simply have to drag them onto the timeline. I'm going to add a little more space in my timeline by dragging this up because I'm going to have 3 tracks here. The bottom layer I want to put on is my worst view, and that is my front facing camera. Then secondly, I want to put in this one. And lastly, I want to put in the gimbal shot. The gimbal shot I put on top because the top is the one that you see the most. The second step to this now is we need to line up these audio clips so that your fingers line up on all the videos. So I'm going to scroll out here just a little bit by clicking on the control button and scrolling with my mouse. You can also do that by zooming in and out here. Now, how do we line this up? Notice my audio, if I drag this over here, you can see these wave files will line up. I can zoom in a little closer here. If I just click right here and drag my little timeline thing right here, zoom in, and you can see it's not as close as I thought it was. So I'll just need to drag that over just a little bit here and a little bit there, and now they are perfectly in sync. First, I noticed this second video clip right here. It's sideways, so to rotate that, you just take this little green thing and spin it. And then you can adjust it to fit the full length of your screen. And you can also crop it if you'd like. Let's go to this one over here. This one, I've got a bunch of extra clip stuff that I'm just going to erase. In fact, let's just do that now. Let's drag this backwards and this backwards, and that's the end of our clip. Super easy. The next step is the beginning. We'll want to come over here to where after I clap, right here, and I'm getting ready to put my hands on the keyboard. I think this is where I want everything to start. So I'm going to trim this by just dragging it, and I'll do all 3 of them. Okay, next step is I will highlight all 3, and let's just drag them all the way to the beginning. And now we've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds, you can see right here, of video. Okay, now that you have the videos lined up and ready to go, I'm going to right click this, and I'm going to take the video and I'm going to separate it from the audio with this separate audio and video. Now I have an audio track separate, and I can take these and mute the tracks on the audio, and you just drag that down. And now I have this audio track separate from my video tracks. I personally like to put the audio track on the bottom and the other tracks on the top. So one way to do that is just to drag it over here and then drag these 3 up to numbers 4, 3, and 2, and then just drag the audio back over. So now let's go over to this first video and let's talk about how we can split. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. I like this video. Right here on the beat. Now, I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to split this. Right? You actually have to highlight this, and then you split it with that tool, and then you can open the curtains so you can see the video below that. Now, let's see where we want to have that next one. Okay, at that point, I want to show another video. So what I'm going to do, I'll keep that one split open. I'm going to highlight that, and we're going to open these curtains so we can see the bottom video, which is my front facing. And I want to split again there to come back to either this one, or I can come over to this one instead. I kind of prefer this one, the hands. Let's have this one come in on the next beat. And now, let's see what we have on this picture. That's a good one. At this point, I kind of like this frame still. It's my favorite one because it's moving. Now at this point, I have to decide if I split this again, is this a better clip right here? And then maybe I'll put right there, this video. And I'll keep this video going. At this point, I probably want to do another split. I want to show my overhead view for just a little bit. Oh, I can't show that one because I've got Joel walking here. So let's split this one again and show maybe this video here. So where's my split tool? Whoops, that's the cut tool. Split tool's right here. And we'll open these curtains so you can see. All right, this camera fell over. That's not going to work. Let's just use the... We're stuck with one choice. We can only use the top view. It's a cool shot. We'll keep it. And I think I'll just stay here. Okay, I think we're done with our video editing. So now as we come in here, you can see it switches views right here, switches again, switches again, switches again. We switch back to the overhead, back to this one, and we stay on the top view for the rest of the video. Now that you've produced the whole thing, it's a good idea to highlight everything. You can do a Control A or a Command A, and you can highlight it, or you can just drag it like I did. And then you right click and you say group. We group all of these. So now it's in one group, and now we can add our fade in and fade out. So let's fade in at the beginning with this transition. Come over here to the F's, click on fade, and you just drag this down to the first one, and then you drag it over to the end, and that will give you a fade in. And at the end of the video, it'll give you a fade out. I kind of want it to fade out sooner. So what I do is I just drag this, whoa, you might have to zoom in to grab the blue thing only. There we go. Now I can drag that, and let's see if that fades a little better. All right, it's having a tough time rendering. Let's try watching that again. And the fade starts happening now. Okay, that's a good fade. So at the very beginning, I want a kind of a little longer fade as well. So let me just drag that a little longer. Try again. Okay, I think we're just about ready. Let's add one more thing. If you want to do an annotation, you just click on this, and we can just drag a little title here, and then you can just type in Inspector Gadget. Remix. I want it to be a little bigger, so let me just go ahead and drag this over here. We'll center it, and let's make it bigger. So let's increase the size. And I think maybe I'll just put this more at the top of my video so it's not in the way. And let's see how that looks at the very beginning. It covers my face. I don't like it. Let's put it down maybe right here. Maybe I'll make it smaller over here on the piano. And I kind of want it to fade in and fade out, but I'm going to move it over just a little bit this way so it doesn't come in until, oops, still came in too early. I like that, but let's put a fade effect on it. So let's go over to our transitions, go back to our fade, drag it on the first and the last. If you put it in the middle, you can see how it did the fade in and fade out. And let's just take a look. Inspector Gadget Remix, and it fades out. I like it. Okay, we're done and we are ready to export. So you export it by going over to the export button in the top right, and you say local file, and you choose a place where you want to export it. So this one tells me that it is an MP4. If I hit next, you want to see the size. It should be 1920 by 1080. That's a really good size. Just hit next, and then just ignore this, hit next, and now you want to title this, and we're going to call it Inspector Gadget Remix, and I'm going to call it Video 1. You can see where it's saving it. I want to choose the place so that you don't lose it. And I'm just going to leave it in this folder here called Inspector Gadget. It's in a perfect place. I'll hit finish, and then you wait for it to export. Once Camtasia is finished exporting, it opens into an HTML browser here, and you can watch it here. I've lost the video before, and then you can tell what folder it's in. If you just look at this title, you can see where it is. Otherwise, you can go ahead and find it from your folder and watch it. So if I open my folder, I happen to know where I stored this. It was on Camtasia Files, Inspector Gadget Remix, and it's in this folder right here. So I'll open it, and you can see I have this large file, and I can watch it. If you approve, next step is to put that onto YouTube and share it with somebody. I'll open a browser. I will go to YouTube. On YouTube, make sure you're signed in. If you're signed in, you have this little plus button. You click on the plus, click Uploads. And from here, you select a file. You choose where to find the file. And it's this large file here. I'll just double click, and it is now uploading to YouTube. At this point, you have a choice to rename it, put a description on it. I'll just leave that blank, and then you can select a playlist, which we're not going to. It's not made for kids, so people can comment on it. I'll hit the next button, and I am going to hit next, next. I will put this as public or unlisted, however you want. And then before I leave here, I want to copy this link so I can share it with people. I will hit publish, and this video is now going on to the web. I'll close this, and in my, if I hit paste here, you can see I've saved this video. It might take just a few minutes, but it is now on YouTube. That was pretty quick. If I want to share this in other ways, you can click the share button here and share it different ways, or you can copy that link, or you can just go to an email and just paste that link in and share your video with somebody. Now, if you go back to your agenda for creating better videos, at the very bottom, you'll see a place where you can share. And you can click either submit your videos for peer review here, or you can do that here. And it will open up this form. Just put your name, your video link. I'm just pasting it from my clipboard. You can also have right-clicked and clicked paste. And this is a solo performance, and it is the intermediate level, and I will click submit. And that's it. You can see your video right here when you open this up, and you'll see I just added my video right there, and people can come in here and check it out. So that wraps it up for Camtasia.